Broadcasting live from the epicenter of the American liberal media complex, New York City. Blinding you with his razor-sharp acumen.
Hey, everybody, it's John Gibson. You know, Sarah Palin's back in the news. She was doing a big Republican... She went and attended a big Republican fundraiser in Washington, D.C. yesterday. And the interesting notation out of this thing is she was the biggest star there, by far. In fact, Newt Gingrich pointed out how much better off we would all be if the left-wing media's most hated person, Sarah Palin, were now vice president.
I also want to thank Governor Palin and Todd for coming tonight and for being part of this. John McCain was there very graciously welcoming us, and I have to tell all of you, despite every effort of the elite media to prop up Joe Biden and pretend he actually knows what he's doing, I felt looking at John McCain and Sarah Palin, this country would have been amazingly better off had they been in the White House.
Sarah Palin told Sean Hannity yesterday in an interview for the Sean Hannity Show on the Fox News Channel, Hannity, that, and this phrase is going to live for years and is going to be ringing in everyone's ears as this first term of this administration continues.
We told you so?
We told you so. We did tell you so. Yeah, we told you what was going to happen, and you demonized Sarah Palin. The liberal media went out to kill her because they could see how much America liked her. The media went out and killed Joe the plumber for suggesting that Barack Obama was going to do precisely what he is doing, which is turning this country into a European socialist nation. And Sarah Palin was there to say so, and she got dumped on for it, but now she can say, we told you so?
It does harken back a little to the campaign. I mean, spread the wealth, patriotic
kind
duty.
of a we told you so?
Well, is that how you feel?
That's how I feel. I feel like, and I think that more and more constituents are going to kind of open their eyes now and open their ears to hear what's really going on and realize, okay, maybe we didn't have a good way of expressing that, articulating that message of here is what America could potentially become if we grow government to such a degree that we cannot pay for it and we have to borrow money from other countries, some countries that don't necessarily like America.
Now, just to expand on her point there, we are now borrowing money, not just from China and other people to fund Barack Obama's huge, they condemned George Bush for blowing the surplus and spending it on wars and expanding the $7 trillion for senior drug program. Oh, I'm the one that likes that. And yet this guy does it 10 times over, and we're supposed to accept it's a good thing. And Sarah Palin is right about this. It isn't just that other countries are buying our debt. If China was buying our debt, fine. But we actually have a situation which, when the federal government now offers these treasury bonds, which is essentially saying, can we borrow money from you? Half of the takers, only half of the bonds are taken by China and other foreign investors. The other half are being bought by the U.S. government itself, which is just bringing over pallets of stacks of $100 bills it just printed to buy these things. It is a con game of the first order, and Sarah Palin is right.
We told you so?
Yes.
Tim Geithner got laughed at in China last week. Is this even more than you thought it was going to be in terms of where the president would take the economy?
What's more than I thought would be is we're hearing a lot of good rhetoric. A lot of this is wrapped in good rhetoric, but we're not seeing those actions. And this many months into the new administration, quite disappointed, quite frustrated with not seeing those actions to rein in spending, slow down the growth of government. Instead, Sean, it's the complete opposite. It's expanding at such a large degree that if Americans aren't paying attention, unfortunately, our country could evolve into something that we do not even recognize.
Right, and then we're going to all go around saying,
we told you so?
Yes.
certainly that is so far from what the founders of our country had in mind for us. Well, that is where we are headed. And we have to be blunt enough and candid and honest enough with Americans to let them know that if we keep going down these roads, nationalizing many of our services, our projects, our businesses, yes, that is where we would head. And that's why Americans have to be paying attention. And we have to have our voices heard. And ultimately, it needs to be our will, the American people's will, imposed on Washington instead of the other way around.
You know, I always liked Sarah Palin, and so did a lot of other people. And the fact of the matter is, though, the media in this country didn't like her, thought she was totally unqualified. If she couldn't, the media knows essentially it is stupid. I mean, Katie Couric knows she is stupid. So if somebody is tripped up in an interview with Katie Couric, Katie goes, wow. I tripped him up? If Charlie Gibson trips him up, he goes, wow, this person wants to be president? I'm dumb. And I got her. And that's what they wanted to do with her, and that's what they are doing with her, making sure that she is the most polarizing figure in America.
Palin is an unpredictable and often polarizing party spokesperson. Witness her comments on Fox News last night.
We told you so?
Yes. That was Good Morning America. Now they're going to go at her again. I hope she sneaks up on him this time.
I'm a hockey man, and there's no way I can vote for that bitch.
Well, you just don't then.
She's a bimbo.
Oh, wouldn't it be just hysterical to see this godlike figure, America's first African-American president, America's first Muslim, well, he's not a Muslim, America's first president who reaches out to Muslim and speaks in their language, quotes their Quran. Wouldn't it be interesting to see him challenged by this woman, this very attractive woman?
She could beat him.
Who people like.
She's definitely a lightweight compared to Barack Obama in all areas.
Oh, yeah, in all areas? Well, why don't you try the vote-getting area? That might be an interesting thing. Here, President Obama, or should I call him godlike cult figure Obama, the latest Gallup poll shows that Obama is still loved. He has a 67% overall approval rate. He has a 61% job approval rate. He has a 59% approval rate on foreign affairs. It starts to go down on the economy a little bit. It's only 55% approval. Terrorism is 55% as well. The Middle East is 55%. Oops. North Korea is only 47%. The federal budget, its disapproval rate is higher than his approval rate. People are starting to get, he is upside down on the question of the federal budget. And when it comes to controlling federal spending, 51% of Americans disapprove of the job President Obama is doing.
We told you so?
That's what this is going to come down to. You can run a whole campaign, put Sarah Palin out in front there and say, you know what this is? We told you so. He's running the banks. He's running the car companies. He's running your health care. He's running your life. We told you so.
We told you so?
We told you so 2012. That's what it's going to be. 888-788-9910. And she can beat him. You know she can.
You know, I mean, he has nothing to worry about from a woman that births retarded babies.
Is Palin right about President Obama? 888-788-9910.